Hello, everyone. My name is Claire Keeney, and I am a certified life coach. I live in Bristol, England, and I help people who are focusing on healing their addictive behaviours.
My name is Eileen Foley. I am a drug and alcohol counsellor in Co Kerry in Ireland, and you are very welcome to the All Woman Recovery podcast. So today we are talking about self-care, Claire.
Yes, that wonderful self-care that it can be so easy for us to forget.
Yeah.
Even before the call, even before we came on the camera, we were just talking about how today, you and I, we put a bit of makeup on, and it's the first time we've done that in a few days. It's like, God, yeah, it feels nice, and that's a form of self-care.
Yeah, it is, and it's I think it's definitely, I suppose it's a word that's kind of maybe thrown around a lot, self-care, and that a lot of people can nearly struggle with how to take care of the self.
Definitely, and I mean, there are people who are in early recovery, that literally that need to be told the basics of self-care. Did you have a shower today? Did you brush your teeth? Did you make your bed? If you didn't, go and make it.
Yeah. So like, even it's about, particularly for people in early recovery, because in addiction life can be so chaotic that a person might go for days and days on end without doing any basic, without even eating.
I think self-care goes out the window.
Yeah. So I suppose in recovery, then people can struggle with what they can do to take care of themselves, and it's often starting with the basics, like you say, with having the daily shower, the personal hygiene, eating properly, trying to get proper sleep.
I mean, for myself, when I first got into recovery, I was one of the more fortunate ones. I had a job, I had a car, I had a roof over my head, and I was a functioning person. And what I did as part of my self-care, I would take myself off to a 12-step meeting before I went to work in the morning. 7:30 in the morning, I'd go to a 12-step meeting, and that started my day. And that was part of my self-care. It shifted my attitude.
Yeah. And it's great you mentioned that, because often, when we get out of the bed in the morning, that initial couple of minutes can nearly predetermine our day, and then doing something to kind of reset that. So doing a meditation, or as you say, going to a meeting, or doing a gratitude list, or anything like that can just shift your thinking, because self-care is about shifting your thinking, and having that interest in yourself, and that that belief that you are worth taking care of yourself, that you matter.
Yeah, and I think that's it. It's getting to the place of realizing that I matter, I'm worth it. And if I'm early in recovery, that's something to really feel, wow, I'm doing this. Or wear it with a sense of pride. Wear it. Well, I've been given these suggestions when I wake up. Have I prayed this morning? Have I meditated, as you just said? Have I done a gratitude list? Or some people do them at nighttime. Maybe go for a quick walk around the block,
or have breakfast. Is a big thing.
Even have breakfast.
A lot of people skip breakfast, the first meal of the day. I know definitely is, for me, my self-care is definitely being outside, out for a walk by the sea, sitting in my garden, working in my garden. Anything like that is where I get. And it doesn't have to be, self-care. We think it has to be this big, massive, they talk about a self-care plan, but it doesn't. It could be, like I have a child, and he's a very active little boy, and sometimes I need, 10 minutes to myself. And it might be just, it might be just sitting out in the garden with a cup of tea for 10 minutes. I have this place out in my garden. I would set up and there's flowers and everything around me. And the lads at home nearly know at this stage that, okay, Mom's taking 10 minutes. And, you know, taking that time and making that effort makes such a difference to me. And, you know, I nearly come back in a different person. So I nearly pressed the pause button for the 10 minutes and pressed the reset button before I come back in, so that, you know, I'm feeling better in myself and I'm feeling a little more relaxed in myself. And all it takes is 10 or 15 minutes. So self-care, we think it has to be, you know, we have to go on pilgrims and workshops and all that stuff is lovely. But it doesn't, you know, if that isn't available to people, because, you know, life can be pretty busy, it can be something like a 10-minute walk or a cup of tea on your own. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate.
No, and it really doesn't. I remember I had a client once, married with 2 children. Oh, I don't have time. You know, as soon as I wake up in the morning, the kids are at me, and it's this. I don't have time to do anything for myself. You know, it's just too busy. And I said, well, do you have a shower in the morning? Well, yes, I do. So you have, you know, maybe 5 minutes in the shower alone.
Yeah.
And
you'd be hoping, yeah.
hoping. But that was a time when this individual could actually start to pray, do something to get more focused on self, to be kind, the way they spoke to themselves, the way to give themselves a break.
Yeah. And that's
their self-care time was in the shower.
Yeah. And that's amazing, and that is really powerful, because for that particular person, she might have even thought of that before, that, oh, actually I have 10 minutes here while I'm having my shower that I can just focus on me. But what happens is, of course, we have the list for the day, and we're gone off 2 or 3 hours or 2 or 3 days ahead, and, you know, we're spending our 5 or 10 minutes focusing on that, rather than, okay, well, right here, right now, I can just, you know, as you say a prayer, or, you know, just focus on my breathing, or whatever it might be, just like that, to give yourself that break, that 5 or 10 minute break.
I have so many young women I talk to right now who actually are mothers, and who've been busy, and they're homeschooling. And there's one in particular that the week before the lockdown, she went into complete anxiety. And now now it is like, I love having more time to myself. You know, she's homeschooling, her husband's at home as well, but she's discovering that she doesn't have to rush around so fast, and her children and her husband.
And I think that
she had to slow down first.
Yeah. And it's interesting, because when we take care of ourselves, it's like a ripple effect. So when we begin to take care of ourselves, other people notice, because our way of being changes, and our behavior changes. And
yeah, it's not it. Yeah.
You know, we're feeling, because we're taking those 10 or 15 minutes or whatever it is, that we're less stressed. So we're not going around in that frame of mind, because we're feeling calmer. And other people, it does rub off on other people.
There can be a tendency, especially for people who are in early recovery and in later recovery, that the whole codependent thing, well, it's up to somebody else to do this for me. When it comes to self-care is up to the individual.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
it's nobody else's responsibility.
No, it's not. And, you know, as women, we can often, not all the time, but often put other people's needs first. So we look after the kids and you know, leave nothing for ourselves. But actually, for women to take care of themselves, it makes us better in what we do. So it makes us better at work, or better at home, or better with the kids, or, you know, because we're giving ourselves that time, and we need to give ourselves that time. You know, as women, we deserve it.
And we're also giving our children a good example of how it is. So as they grow up, they can learn what it means to take care of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just little things. As you said, it doesn't have to be anything grandiose or huge.
No.
It can just be a little thing, just a 2-3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes at the most. And it's like, as you said, you in the morning, you get up and go out into the garden. I mean, when I have a cup of tea, when I get up, I don't have children. So when I get up, I do I stretch, I pray, I meditate. And I'm lucky I have that time to do that, and I don't have the interruption. But the days I don't do it, I notice the difference.
And the thing as well, Claire, even with meditation, like, people have this kind of thing that, to meditate, you have to be meditating for half an hour, whatever. Like, it could be 5 minutes. It just could be 5 minutes. Focusing on your breathing.
Yep.
Just to come out of your head into your body. 5 minutes. And do that a couple of times a day. I mean, I would do that a lot. In fact, throughout my day. Just take those 5, and sometimes I could be focusing on my breathing and someone could walk in. So I might get 2 minutes. But it does make a difference because it takes you out of your head and gets you to connect with your body.
No, you brought up a topic, actually, a subject that is very important to us, is breathing properly. Because people they've done research that how people really don't breathe properly. And when we're disconnected from ourselves, we breathe very shallowly. And if we can learn to breathe, take that time out to breathe from, right down inside, down into our gut, breathe from your belly. You can do that cooking at the stove.
Yeah. So there's a self-care piece there, right there.
Definitely. You can still be talking to somebody.
Yeah. This is it, and I suppose, it is about finding what fits for you. So what works for you and what works for your own lifestyle and your own schedule, so that you're not, like getting caught up on, I have to do self-care now, and it nearly becomes an ordeal where it's stressing you out. I often hear from women in recovery where, someone would be recommending they do X, Y, and Z or do certain things, and they're nearly putting themselves under pressure to do it. And then that's not self-care because you're stressing yourself out. So it is about finding a couple of things that work for you. It could be listening to an audiobook in the car. As you say, it could be focusing on your breathing. It could be, doing a gratitude list, taking a walk, having a shower. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. But it's just that you're taking the time.
It could be listening to a piece of music you like that makes your heart sing, that brings a smile to your face.
Yeah.
Anything that just makes you feel. And a woman needs to know that she's worthy taking care of herself.
So maybe that's actually maybe a great tip for women, is that when that little, doubt creeps in that, that maybe I don't have time to do this, or, I have to do X, Y, 101 things before I do this, that you kind of catch yourself there and say, well, actually, no, I'm worth taking this time. So
because I think women have been conditioned that their role is to be there for everybody else, and they put themselves on the back burner. And it's okay for a woman to take care of herself. It's okay to do nice little things for herself. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Claire. So today our topic was self-care.
Self-care.
So we hope everyone got some few tips out of it.
Just keep it simple. It's the premise of keeping it simple. Just one little thing you can do this week. Whether you do it when you're in the shower, the bath, when you're in wherever, maybe you're standing at the stove, maybe it's just remembering, oh yeah, I can take a nice deep breath now, and it's like, something happens when you take those deep breaths. Just something simple.
Yeah, something simple. So there's a challenge for you ladies, for anyone that's watching this. Find one thing, keep it simple, and find one thing that you can do to take care of yourself. Okay, so that's it. So that's it from myself and Claire. So take care, and we will speak to you all soon.
We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.